Today I will be showing you how to repair your dashboard that is cracked. We have a right-hand drive JDM RX-7 dash. They're kind of not easily to come by in the US, so I'm going to be showing you how to flock it, repair the cracks, just make it better. This is the dashboard we're going to be working with. There was a TV mounted here, so you can see there's a recess and some holes. There was something stuck here at one point. You can see this whole crack is cracking. Here it's cracked and they had something covering it up. On the back side of the dash, you can also see that it's cracked here. I've already scuffed this up with a wire brush, but I'll be plastic welding these. RX-7s do not have the best quality interiors, so I'll show you guys what I'm going to end up doing. I have my plastic welder all heated up. It's hot to the touch. It smells great. Just kidding, it doesn't smell good. So now that I've already roughed these up, first thing I'm going to do is just apply some heat. Get it melded together a little bit. Just pretty much set it so it's not going to go anywhere. Then what you do, switch hands. Get your plastic a little heated up so it's nice and tacky. You stick it on and you melt it off. And you smooth it out just like that. Just try to melt it in so it adheres really well. You can also, if you're doing something like a bumper in your plastic welding, you can use a mesh and actually like melt the mesh into it to increase the rigidity. But I feel like it's fine for this because it's not like you're going to be standing on it and the wind's not going to be flexing on it and stuff like that. So. It's important to just let the soldering iron itself or the plastic welder do the work. Don't try to push too hard or it ends up bending up like that, and eventually it'll break. That's experience talking. Yeah, now, like, I mean, as you could see before, I mean, I could separate it pretty easily. Now it's at least one piece again, so it's not going to continue to crack. Same way with these. For welding rod, I'm using fiber reinforced universal plastic. It's called Fiberflex. It's made by Polyvance. It stays flexible. Like, this is really bendable still, so that way vibrations and stuff aren't going to make it crack later on. So next thing you're going to have to do, like, see how this is all adhesive. Someone stuck all this. I'm going to use some Goo Gone. Just let it sit on it and scrape it off. This is less glamorous than plastic welding. And now you let it sit for a few minutes. Alright, so my fingernail and thumbnail is about gone. You just heard it break a little bit more. But it's just about good enough to just sand it now. Alright, now before I start sanding, because this is a dashboard, I'm sure it had armor all put on it at some point, so I'm going to wipe the whole thing down with denatured alcohol just to get all of that crap off of it. That way when I'm sanding, I don't embed it into any of the plastic. Because at some point before we end up flocking the dash, we're going to end up having to paint it. And we don't want it to fisheye and look crappy. Just get it all nice and saturated. And the nice thing about this is it'll, you know, evaporate too, so you can kind of go heavy on it. Just let it do its thing. Alright, dash is wiped down. Now it's time to do some sanding. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm feathering back the edges. That way when I repair it, I get a nice smooth surface. So you see how I'm leaving some here and I'm eating down into this? So I'm just going to feather it back. nice and fillable. I'm just going to sand all this with 320. That way when I do the paint that I paint the dash with is going to adhere well to it, and that'll help the flocking stick to it as well. I'm gonna wipe it down one more time before I start adding any of this flexible material. Alright, so what I'm using here is a dual mix multi-plastic repair. Use this special gun, and it mixes it as it goes up through. This is like a bumper repair material, but it works really good for dashes because they're plastic too. So what I'm going to do is put a new tip on. See how it mixes? Normally takes a couple of coats just to get it built up enough. So that'll be one coat. If you have to touch it, lick your finger first, and you can kind of mold it where you want it to go, and it doesn't stick to your finger. Alright, so it's been about 15 minutes now. The stuff's ready to sand. I'm actually just going to rough it up a little bit, and then I'm going to recoat it because you can see it's still low right here. So I'm going to probably end up feathering this out to about this big just to make so it's hit easier. So I'm just roughing up the surface, just getting it nice and ready to go back on with another layer. So the thing that probably sucks the most about using this material itself is you have to change out the tip every time because this is now hard, just like the rest of it is. And it's about $2 a tip, so plan for that. Try to put on as much as you can. If you have multiple cracks, try to do them all, and then recoat after it dries. That way you're not throwing away money. I'm going to wipe it down one more time. Get all that extra little dust I just put on it back off of it. See? Definitely pick some more back up. Alright, so now we're going to wait another 15 minutes and either reapply or start sanding. Just depends how it looks. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm just going to sand on this and just see how it's going. I know I have a couple little low spots, but I'm just going to hit some of this with some 180, just smooth it out, see what I need to do on the next coat. I wouldn't have necessarily had to do this, but seeing there was that crack right here, I just feel like it'd be better if for consistency, if I just went ahead and smoothed out the whole line. Because there's no way I was going to be able to imitate, like that exact line where it was cracked and separated right here. So I'm just blending it and making it all go away. Alright, so I'm just trimming out this hole a little bit here. You can kind of just grab it and pull it, but I'm going to try to do a little cutting here, just to help make it a little easier. Alright, now that the last coat's done, we're going to let it dry, and hopefully we can do some flocking yet today. Alright, next step, I'm going to take some prep off, so wax and grease remover. Just going to wet down a rag. Just start wiping it down. It is good. Alright, so what I'm going to do next is we're going to open up this door. I'm going to take this outside and I'm going to spray paint it all the same color. The glue for the flocking is black, but it's slightly transparent if you get a low spot or whatever. So I just want to make sure it's all going to be nice and uniform. Coat over here, I got some Krylon Dual. Just anything will work really. I'm using a low gloss, like a satin. And I'll do a couple of coats too. I just don't want it to run at all. So the first coat I'm just pretty much doing as a tack, a tack coat. All right, 5 minutes. All right, time for second coat. Just gonna lay it on kind of like I would if I was trying to make it lay nice. You can see it's very critical when it's glossy, but as it flattens out, as it dries, it gives way a little bit. Alright, so now I'm just going to let this dry for 30 minutes or so. I'm going to hit it with some gray Scotch spray, and then we'll start flocking.
Alright, so I'm setting up the table. This is where we're going to do the flocking. Lay a drop cloth down so it doesn't make a mess. Once the glue is laid, we flock it, and it has to be done within 10 minutes. That's how it is, right? Yeah. So once the glue is down, flock it, and then we'll go back over, make sure everything is laid down right, and we'll go from there.
Alright, so dash is inside. It's a new day, by the way. Time got away from me yesterday. Dash is inside. I've scuffed it this morning. I wiped it down with rubbing alcohol again just to get all the dust off of it. The next process is going to be to put this glue on it. It's gross. Very thick. The glue has to be applied within 10 minutes and the flocking has to be on, all within 10 minutes. So I'm just going to set a stopwatch. Our goal is to get all of the glue on in under 5 minutes and then go ahead and start the flocking process. Once you flock it, you're going to let it sit for 24 hours, dust the excess flocking material off, and you're done. CJ is going to help me apply the glue because it definitely helps to have a second person. I normally use a roller, one person, and he is going to get all the edges with a brush. Time.
You ready for this?
Ready. So now this is the air applicator. They also have another one that's like this thing. You just kind of shake it, but I'm gonna use this one because we bought it and it's nice. just a little bit. Will you get a flashlight, CJ, and start checking this?
Bottom needs more too. A little bit on this side too.
Okay. I had a little bit left in this one, so I just figured I'd go ahead and hit this corner with it. But you can see how it works. It's just kind of a little air pump. This is your completed dash. We just finished flocking it. You need to let it dry for 24 hours. Once it dries for 24 hours, take this nice soft bristle brush, just lightly sweep off the excess. You can use an air blower, but I don't really recommend it. I mean, the more material you can leave on it helps. The glue is only but so strong. But yeah, this is it, man. Just install it and enjoy your sheen-free race car repaired dash. Catch you guys next time.